Harper's.
Louis,
So,
I thought about you during Punta Cana. I really did. I really thought of you all.
Oh
I
yeah,
was like, man, it was
yeah,
just absolutely fantastic. So, welcome everyone to our F10x Huddle.
absolutely. And that's what we want to start off with is we just came back. Obviously, my wife and I are in New York. Just flew back from Punta Cana this past weekend or yesterday, and you know this was our first retreat with PartnerCo, and so we kind of went not knowing what to expect. And I will tell you, my wife, I would like to hear from her as well, that you know, Partner Co. Um, they do not hold back. It was absolutely amazing. It
Yeah,
was
they did it
absolutely
all.
amazing.
They did it all.
Yeah.
Like they just put their all into it. It was beautiful. Beautiful. From the moment we stepped foot, from picking us up, it was just whining and dining. It was just amazing.
And we were just so engulfed in everything that we barely even posted while we were there. But we have so much that we want to share. So probably today we'll be doing just kind of like a recap of the 3 or 4 days that we had activities, but it was absolutely amazing. I'll give you all a quick kind of just glimpse of it. Let me pull it up here. Just a few highlight pictures that.
I mean, first we have to ask them, are they interested in seeing a few highlights?
uh, that's a yes.
Oh,
Just
okay. I didn't
for the
want to
record,
bore
that's
you
a yes.
guys. We can talk about other things.
Oh, definitely.
That's a yes. Thank you so much.
And I'm just throwing together some stuff real quick from you know just some pictures. But so this was our room they put us in. Again, everything paid for, and of course it being an all-inclusive resort. So this was our room service because we didn't that morning we didn't feel like rushing out or doing anything. So we're like, yeah, let's get some room service, try different things. What did we have here, babe? We had like this was like a Dominican breakfast
Dominican
they gave us.
breakfast. We had because I wanted to try everything. So we got a Dominican breakfast. We got some other type of breakfast. I don't forgot the names, but all I know is I just wanted to try a few things. Um, yeah, that was nice. It's a beautiful, beautiful background. You have this giant patio to relax and I did appreciate that even though we had activities that were planned, they did give us a little time to ourselves,
Yeah.
to like actually relax.
And
Yes.
what do you want to say about the weather? Because again, we're right now we're experiencing some pretty lousy weather in the U.S. But how was the weather in Dominican Republic?
Very, very just lovely. I mean, the first couple of days was slightly cloudy, but not for long. It clears up really quickly. And then the sun was out, perfect temperature, just gorgeous.
Typical tropics, it's like you if you're coming, bring a well actually most resorts give you an umbrella, so you don't have to bring an umbrella, but
Cool.
tropic weather, it rains from time to time, but because it's an island, there's nothing to stop the wind and the clouds, it just passes, right? It just if it rains a little bit, within 10 minutes or so, it's like past and then sun's back out and it's just
Oh,
absolutely amazing. So um,
oh.
that was and then we, again, Dominican not only has beach, but it has tropical like rainforests, right?
So this
So
was
we have
I think this was Thursday. We went to skate park with everyone. We'll post more pictures of this, but they took us to like a nice park that had some animals and had like a cave where you go down and see the natural caves, had the waterfall.
mhm.
People took pictures with parrots, monkeys. You saw our picture with the monkeys, and we got to see the setup of like an indigenous village, Aztec village. Then it took pictures with some of the pagan gods, and we saw some carved private
It
parts.
was funny. That's called Gooey. They have a sun god of their people, and his name is Gooey. I just thought it was funny.
It was just
Like,
weird. And then here's the waterfall. So partner code the whole time. By the way, there is a link where they shared with us that has all the professional photos that they took. So they were videoing us the whole time, taking photos of us. You know, it was just really nice. Like they were just honest the whole time.
Yeah.
Um,
That
to
was nice.
capture our experience. And then of course we took our own photos. This is a picture of Dana feeling on himself. Feeling cute. Um,
A lot of beach time.
thank you for rubbing it in. Awesome. Yeah,
So,
but I mean, there's tons more photos. Like I said, like there's a link that has every single day. We also were scheduled private dinners with the corporate executives.
mhm.
Private dinner. Ours was with Katie, and then our first dinner was with Mark and Vivian in marketing. So we had private dinners with them that was scheduled so that we could all kind of get to know everyone. And then we also had a private meeting that was scheduled with Darren Silbrist and John. I think John was there too. Yeah, Darren and John. We also had a private meeting scheduled with them as well. So they really had us like spending time with everyone as much as possible to get to know, because they wanted us leaders to like get to know each other, but also get to know corporate and, you know, like get those.
Can I say real quick how awesome it is to see you and Mr. Harper going through this whole process with some familiar faces from but the whole new crew. What a blessing to be able to see you guys grow into this amazing role that you have known from before, that we all saw you in before. To get to see you again in this role is a huge blessing. That's all.
So nice. We appreciate that. And we're excited to kind of take the lead, but we're like, one thing we missed. I know I noticed it a few times. I was like, man, we need all of you there with us.
We need you all there. Like it's a collaborated effort. We were there because it was a team effort. You know what I mean? So, and that was something that was discussed at the am I still okay, I'm unmuted. That was something that was discussed there. How we all the leaders there, you know, um, we want as many of you there as possible. You know what I mean? That's all we talked about. And that's all Darren and John talked about. Like, how do we get everyone? Because by you hitting the milestones of officer and senior officer, you qualify for the career retreat. Those are the reward points, the lifestyle reward points that dump in your back office that gets you qualified for the retreat. That's all we did was, so we want to help you hit the same milestones, you know, creating your team as well within the team and growing the organization so that you also qualify for these retreats and we can all celebrate together. And I remember before, one thing that we realized when we were on this trip, I remember before in other companies that we were a part of, um, it might have seemed a little daunting to think you might be able to hit this type of retreat, like, you know, qualify for something like this. But in Partner Code, it's actually like, if you see all the people that were there were people who were officers, there were people who were not. There were vice presidents there that qualified for the retreat because of the activity, because of enrollment, because of, I mean, it's just as long as you get the points, it's not rank focused.
And it's not a year only. Like most companies, it's what you do during that year only that qualifies you. This is an accumulation.
Cumulative.
So some people like I know last year, like right when we came on board, there was a trip. I think it's Bahamas. That was right before we came on board. There was a lot of people that they weren't high ranking people, but they had accumulated their points for 2-3 years, right? And they could use those points now to go to that trip. So right now, these points that you're accumulating right now, every customer you get, every partner you sign up, every advancement in rank you're doing, some of your product orders are giving you lifestyle credit. In fact, right now there's a promo pack for the challenge, right? You get like 2 boxes of Slender Eyes, some Sugar Stop, some Advantage.
I literally
some
just
other-
bought it.
I
Yeah,
got a
I did too.
question, because I bought mine, but I don't have my points. They didn't give me my points. And I
So
bought it a
there's a
couple of
spot to
weeks
see your
ago.
points, and it takes time. If
Yeah,
you
it
go
takes
check
time.
in,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes it takes some time to show up, but there's a spot in your back office that just go and look there. And you can always call customer service if you have questions about it, but usually it takes some time. But lifestyle points do show up. Yeah,
What I love about what he's saying though is it shows that here in Partnerco, nothing is for nothing. Whether you're getting customers, whether it's your order, whether it's you're helping someone else, they're rewarding you over and over again for the same thing. So I don't want you all to ever feel like that week is lost or whatever. I didn't hit a certain goal, so it's lost. No, everything you did that week still counts for something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't
I
relent. Go ahead, Miss Sharon.
I have to admit, it wasn't until you guys said something about lifestyle points. I think it was like even last week. I went in and looked at mine and I looked at the number and I was like, wow, okay. So I went and I looked. I'm less than 2,000 points away from having $100 Visa card. And I was like, what? I'm like, dang, them things, they just had them back there. I didn't even know they're back there doing their little thing. I'm like, this kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
So
That's very cool.
thank you for saying something because I mean, that's, and seeing that, that's how we earn the trips too. It's like, oh, that hadn't even dawned on me. I was like, okay, I was today's years old when I learned that. Thank you.
Yes, Erica. Thank
Never
you.
mind. Never mind. I probably talked to you guys after the call. It was in regards to the because I did buy the package. I was 370 away from manager, and I was just wondering, yeah, like what we could do to fix that. And I sold drops on Friday, and I have 3 ladies that want to sign up for the challenge, and one that bought, or one that's planning on buying. But I just want to see like what we can maybe do to make that happen, if that's still
Awesome.
possible for next week.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, we'll connect. We're in New York, so same time zone, so it'll be a lot easier. So that's awesome. And speaking of that, so next year, getting all of you to come along with us on the trip is so doable. So doable. It's something we can all shoot for. But there's still time, even this year. There's still time for many of you, if not all of you, to come with us back to Punta Cana in July for the Champions Retreat. And Erica, said it a nice transition because she's talking about, hitting manager for many people. The minimum requirement for many people who were not managers is simply to achieve managers 3 times. And we have 4 weeks left to qualify. All the details can be found here on the website. This is the championsnetwork.org. And from here, you can get all the details about the Champions Retreat. There's a spot where you can opt in to commit and say, hey, I'm committing to go. And you still have 4 weeks to qualify, which again, you need to know what it takes to qualify. Get with one of us, get with one of the vice presidents or above, and they can show you, but basically we have to go back and look at what was your paid as rank before this challenge started. And your goal is to hit that next paid as rank either 2 times if it's a higher rank or 3 times if it's manager. And anyone can do that. We have 4 weeks, so just qualifying. Some of you've already qualified maybe once or twice, so you might have to qualify just one more time in one of those ranks. And we have 4 weeks to do it. And even if you haven't qualified at all, you still have time, because just as long as we qualify you 3 weeks out of the 4 weeks, you can qualify to go with us. And now that we've been there, we're even more excited to go back. And we're more excited to be there with many of you. So here's our plan. And I wanted you to all know what our plan is. We're going to be today going through the back office, checking to see who's close. on our own. That doesn't stop any of you that are here with us live or watching the recording to reach out to us, because if you're someone who's just like, I know I'm on pace, or I want to, even if maybe up to now you're not on pace, but you're like, I want to do everything I can to push over these next 4 weeks to qualify to go back with all of you to Punta Cana. Because I'm telling you right now, it was an amazing time, but I can only imagine how much more amazing it will be when we as a family, F10x, are there together, right? And I already know that Miss Twyla and Paul, you've qualified to go. Miss Mama Sandy is qualified to go. Many of you are as close to fully qualifying. So it's going to be, it would be amazing. It'll be absolutely amazing. So if you want to qualify, reach out to us today. In addition to anyone reaching out, we're going to be doing our own due diligence and looking and seeing who is on pace. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting everyone together, creating a group specifically that we're going to be focusing on over the next 4 weeks to do everything, to lock arms, to push forward, and to do everything possible to ensure that you qualify for that trip. And we'll help you every step of the way. Now, anything you want to say about that, babe?
Oh, no, I mean, this is such a milestone achievement for all of us together. I mean, think about the story. In this business, it's all about the story, creating that story. And that story you can use to ride your business to greater heights. You know, imagine saying that a year into, starting this new business with Partnerful, you were able to qualify for an incentive trip, and then you have a pictures and you have, the memory, and it's such an important step in your business. So instead of thinking of this as, oh, I just want to earn myself a little vacation, think about it as a milestone that you cannot afford not to have in your business. Because imagine what this is going to do for you. The pictures you're going to share. If you see the messages that we're getting just from this trip, and we haven't even posted as much as we want to, people are like, whoa, wow, this stuff is legit. There are links that I sent out to people that maybe they didn't even click. They're clicking them now, and they're watching the videos, and they're like, okay, I need to pay attention. This stuff is serious, right? So this is such an important trip for F10X. And don't forget, it's our anniversary. And another thing I took away from this weekend is don't get caught up in, oh, my people, or this person is not serious, or that person is not serious. Because you know what? You're serious. You're serious. You're not a leader of people. You're a leader of yourself. You know what I mean? You only have control over you. That is a mentality Dana and I adopted long ago in our business. Mama Sandy, when I'm ready to go, I go. I do my massive recruiting. I get my customers. I'm not, you know what I mean? If everybody took responsibility for numero uno, if you're doing it and she's doing it and he's doing it and she's doing it, not everyone's taking personal responsibility. Guess what's happening to everyone's businesses? The cumulative effort of each person then adds up. And then we all qualify together. But the responsibility starts with you. You might not have control over the 50 people in your team, but you have control over you. We don't need 50 people for you to qualify. You just need to do what you need to do. And if just a handful do the same thing, you qualify. Everybody qualifies for it. And that's the mindset shift. Like everyone, all the leaders at this last retreat, you could see that they own themselves. They take personal responsibility. They're there on the Zooms. They're there on the phone calls. Like they are, yes. And if they have one or two in their team that's like, yeah, I want to, I need your help. They take that one or take that two. Well, a lot of them, I never heard them say anything about who wasn't doing what. They never mentioned it because they were so gung-ho about their personal responsibility. That's the type of ownership it takes to qualify for these type of things. Because if everyone took ownership and leadership of themselves, then everyone's doing the right thing. Then everyone grows together.
Yeah.
Right. But it's harder when you start thinking of what others aren't doing. You have no control over that. So I
Amelia,
hope that kind of helps.
can I say something too
Yes.
about what you're saying? It's very important too, and what keeps me going because, like, we all get discouraged, but at the same time, we got to stay plugged in. What Amelia is saying, because sometimes we need that pep. So our Zooms, our IPAs, our accountability calls. I mean, it means so much to each and every one of us to keep us going. Because, everybody has perhaps a down day,
Mhm.
but we just need one another for encouragement because we get encouragement by just being here, stepping up to the plate. Because if you're here, others at some point will follow you. That's all, baby.
I love it. But that's
Excellent.
it, because that's it, Mama Sandy. She said it, I mean, 1,000%. And you're such a stellar example of staying plugged in. Mama Sandy, we have our back end conversations back and forth. The emotional, mental roller coaster is rough, boy. But she never allows that to stop her. Like, she's still plugging in. She's still checking along. She's busy. She's retired, but is she really retired? Because she's so involved in so much, right? But she's still like plugging in. And yes, she would love more of her people to stay plugged in. But you know what? She's such an example of a leader, and so many of you on this line are. You all are, because you stay in the game. So imagine if just all 8 of us or 10 of us go to this retreat together. That's more showing up than last year. We weren't in last year. So if 8 to 10 go this year, imagine what could happen the following year. Right?
That's it. That's
So
exactly it. So and the hard work, the plugging in, the reward will be worth it, because this particular event, what I think is very cool is that originally it started off as James Zhang and Becky Zhang. They started it off for their team, but because the concept was so amazing, right? All these other teams within Partner Code decided to do the same challenge. And so we have Brent Palmer's team that are doing the same challenge, and they're having people qualify and booking, and they're booking their tickets to go. We have Lanika and Greg Scott's team that's involved now, and they're booking. So I'm telling you right now, this event, based on what we just saw and how great Punta Cana is, because Punta Cana, I don't know if any of you have been there, I was so impressed by the people, the culture, the beauty of it. It was so amazing. We're going to show up to this all-inclusive resort, and it's going to be like the whole resort is going to be Partner Code people from
it was
all
so
the
cool.
teams, right?
Remember, we were in the piano bar, and I've got videos of that, and it was all Partner Code. It was just Partner Code people, and guess what? People like Julie Park was there. They were recruiting while we were in there, because people, that guests who were there, were so impressed. Like, they were asking questions, and people were signing people up on vacation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, you just never know. Because imagine people that are going to places like that are people who are doing things, right? I mean, they're going on trips like that because they're also kind of, doing their thing as well. So that could be a great networking opportunity as well, being there. But I think it's going to be just, if it's anything like what we just experienced, I believe there might be more people going to the Champions Retreat with all these organizations than what happened with corporate this week.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, we'll
Without a
probably
doubt.
have
That was my
300
point.
people there.
My point is that this event, we went to an event that was amazing, right? It was 180 people. Can you imagine 180 people qualified at that higher level to go to this event? But this Champions Retreat, I wouldn't be shocked if there's 300 to 400 people, right? That all qualify between all these teams. And literally the whole resort is Partner Code people. I can only imagine it's going to be so amazing. So our point is we want to get every single one of you there. And just as a quick transition before we end, if you have any contacts in Canada or you live in Canada, you have kind of an opportunity to boost your momentum, because of the Connect event that's happening in Calgary in just about another week or so. In fact, let me pull it up so you
I
can
think
see
it's
the
on the-
date. It's going to be May 29th to the 31st, right?
Mhm.
Major event. We're going to have John Wadsworth, founder, is going to be at this event. Katie Holt Larson, Chief Impact Officer, President of Americas. Dan Kelly, who's President of the U.S. We're going to have Lucy West, who's oversees all of Canada. We have, I think Mark Patterson's coming to this event. I mean, it's going to be
It's a big,
star-studded.
they're investing a lot into this event because that market is blowing up. We're growing a global business. And Dana and I are so committed to this because we, as a team, has such a huge representation there in Calgary and corporate. They kept talking to us all weekend. Dana, Mel, you guys, I mean, you have massive representation out there. And they were so impressed because, we're planning on showing up for that event, right? Dana's like, yep, I'm going to be there, and said, all right, see you in a couple of weeks. He's staying all this month to work with each and every one of you, building into
Well, that's the plan, right? That's the
Yeah.
plan. And so we have a goal. We put a goal out there, and the goal, so this is how we need to do. We set a goal for Canada, and it's for the whole team. 50 people registered, and I'll be there, and 80 people registered. My wife will be there. So to do this, I want to share that we're putting a tracker in place because we're going to have to track it from a team level. So we put a tracker in place, and we're going to start tracking today, right? So what we need, and this is for those on live or those watching recording, what we need is we'll start circulating this tracker. We need every person that you either know that's registered or you've registered yourself to either one of two things, to either enter the information into this tracker or to send the details to one of the leaders, to myself, my wife, Ms. Marifel, Mr. Jesse, any of the leaders, any that can help us enter the details into this tracker. And this is just, we kind of put examples here, but let's just say, because I know Twyla mentioned that she's just a drive away. So let's just say Twyla decides to register. And so the person would enter their name. They would come over to who is the VP or above, the vice president or above. And all the vice presidents that are basically in Canada, oversee Canada, are listed here, whether it's Amy Tan, Agnes, Evelyn, Lourdes. When in doubt, Ms. Marifel or Jesse, if you know they're in their team, or if you're not working with them under their team, of course, when in doubt, you can put my wife and myself. You choose who that your VP or above is. Registration status would be registered. In progress basically means that you might, maybe a rare occasion that you have some sort of challenge that you're trying to work out, but you're taking the steps. And then registered with extra tickets simply means that, you're registered, but you actually even have extra tickets. That's awesome as well, because that counts, right? If you have extra tickets, that would count towards the goal of 50 registrations or ultimately 80 registrations. So you would put in what that is. Maybe if you put register with extra tickets, choose your market, USA, and then in the notes, if you do have extra tickets, then we would just say, put in the notes and say something like +1 for husband, or guest, or whatever the case, put the notes in, or 3 extra tickets for guest, or whatever the case. So we're going to be circulating this. This was just an example. But we wanted to make sure that today we showed everybody so that when you see this sheet, either if you're entering it yourself or if you are going to help other people enter their numbers, you'll have an idea of what this sheet is all about. So because we want to really show up to Calgary Connect in a very, very big way as a team.
Oh, and I would love to go, but we'll be in South Africa.
That's right. I've been following you. That's exciting too. Very, very exciting. So, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this month. this month of May, it is time for us to go all out as a team, to crush it. My wife and I are excited. We're here. I'm staying longer here in the US to build, to be on the same time zone, to help everyone. I will be up in the Buffalo marketplace, Miss Erica. I'll be going to Toronto. I'll be going through Ontario. I will be coming through Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. So if you know anyone on the New York City, if you know anyone on the East Coast, this is a great time. But even if they're not on the East Coast, again, a Zoom call away, we're on the same time zone. I'll be working from morning to night, helping people hit goals, shoot for their new ranks, get qualified for the Champions Retreat. And the goal is that let's get Canada to get enough people registered, because I don't want to have to fly back to Africa. I want to be able to come to Canada and go to the Calgary Connect. So that's the goal. So,
Yeah. And lastly, just one last thing that I wanted to mention is, in this business, we usually have like burst of energy that's like put in, in the life of your business. You don't have to go 100% of the time, okay? Because it's just kind of hard to do that. You burn out, you lose gas, right? So, for example, when we all got started, look at that boost of momentum. Everyone wanted to go ultimate. Everyone, did what they needed to do to push and get that done. Now you're writing that. So sometimes you ask yourself, when is the next time that I need to give myself a little bit of push? The good news is it doesn't have to be forever. You just need to give yourself a short-term boost of momentum in your business to kind of give it some gas and have it go. This is a good time to do that because you have so much to work for and so much working for you. We have the 28-day challenge that's starting. It's a great marketing tool to get yourself visible online as well, or in your community. And then you also have the Champions Retreat qualifier. You can even engage those that you're working with. Hey, I'm doing this because I'm working hard towards a goal. By me helping you, it helps me qualify, right? Sometimes people might not do something for themselves, but they'll do it for you because they want, you have a goal, you're loud about it, you're talking about it, and you kind of rally everyone together to help you qualify for this, right? So this is a really good 4 weeks to give it a good go in the business, and watch you ride that all the way into the third quarter of the year, right? So, I mean, we've been writing what we did into almost a year later, right? So that's all I'm gonna say, because that's what Mr. Harper and I are doing. All right, we're gonna be giving it a good burst of energy here in the next few weeks.
absolutely. So that's what we wanted to share. We want to keep this kind of short because we know a lot of people check the replay. So thank you all for being with us and joining with us again. And again, this is the time. Starting off a new month. Let's go hard. Let's use the next 4 weeks to see who we can get qualified to come with us back to Punta Cana. Let's get as many people possible to Calgary event, and let's just help everyone get to that new rank, right? Rank up, hit some of their goals. Let's push this month hard. So thank you so much, guys. Everyone have a fantastic day. If you guys need us, we're here and we'll be available to chat.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank
Hey,
you.
guys.
Have a great week.
Yes.
Love you guys.
Thank you. Awesome.
Love you guys.